All right. Let's see if everything is working before we get really in depth with it. Hello, hello, hello. Th- I think everything is working. And if I want to be honest with y'all. If y'all are seeing this, everything went right. If you're not seeing this, something went wrong. Uh, Regardless, I was going to start a Memphis Grizzlies my GM save, my NBA save, whatever you really want to call it. I always call it my GM. Um, and I was like, you know what? I might as well try to stream this for the channel. We just, in the AHS Plays catalog, we just wrapped up our WWE 2K25 My GM series a couple weeks ago. And I was like, I think I know what's next, but I'm not 100% certain of it. Like I said, if you're seeing this, then this is what's next, obviously. But plans can change. That is very TBD. But like I said, regardless, I was going to do this anyway. So I was like, might as well try to film it and put it up onto YouTube. So the last 2 years on 2K, we have done some My GM series. As my video immediately needs to be refreshed on my computer. I'm glad that I looked before we got too in depth. On 2K24, we used the Memphis Grizzlies, and I had a lot of fun with that. And in hindsight, the thing that was fun about that series is that it was the complete opposite of what was going on in real life, because that was the season where Ja started off suspended and then came back and then got hurt and we tanked. And I said it throughout that series, I was not trying to tank. I did not like the team tanking, but obviously I understood it. Then we moved on to a throwback series. That was a lot of fun, but a pain in the ass with the Seattle Supersonics 2007. It was the last year that they were the Supersonics. We drafted Kevin Durant and paired him with Ray Allen and Rashard Lewis, where in real life they obviously traded those two. I had a lot of fun with that series. It was a lot of fun. But again, because it was a specific season and not one of the MyNBA eras, like years, I had to go through a lot to get to it. It was just a pain in the ass. Again, it was fun. Then last year, we were the Brooklyn Nets, and the goal of that series, the plan for that series was to take a team and to build it into my image and to make it a team that I would like to mold. And I think the simpler way of doing that would have been just to draft a team and not do what I did, because by the end of it, I did not enjoy it that much. And that's why there's a lot of reasons to why it stopped, but that would obviously be the main reason. But now we're here, start of 2026, start of the new series. I don't want to say we're in the middle of the season. I couldn't even really tell you how many games are we in, like percentage wise. 30 games. So let's do 30 divided by 82. And that's how you get your damn percentage. 30 divided by 82. So we're 35, 37, if you want to be really technical, percent through the season. And for my Memphis Grizzlies, it's been a roller coaster. Again, why am I choosing this team? They're my favorite team. I know a lot about them. And there's some things that I would like to see changed, you know. Again, it's going to be me putting the team into my image. I'm not advising. Again, if I was in charge, I think things would be a little bit different, not a lot different. I'm not going to say I would do almost everything that I'm doing here, but most of it I would get an idea of. Here's what I will say. This is the main thing that I will say. When we traded Desmond Bane in the offseason, I knew the Ja and Jaren rumors would pop up. And in real life, it happened a lot quicker than I expected, because it happened Halloween night, the whole fiasco where Ja, and I'm saying this in quotations, quit on the team. That game was very painful, because we were up 14 points going into halftime, and then halftime happened in like a matter of 4 minutes. It was already tied, and I was like, I still am very perplexed by what the hell happened, and a lot of that probably could have been avoided, and I still don't really know what happened, and it'll be a while before we actually, it doesn't matter that much, because it seems that most people have moved on from it. But that was one of the main points of the season thus far for this team. The main point is that essentially the product that we're putting out, the team is putting out, is whoever the hell could go out there and play, go out there and play for us because so many people are injured. We've gotten so accustomed as fans of the team, and it's something that no one really should be having to be put through, of seeing tweets and posts on X. And it's like Notes apps worthy. You can't even just put it on a post. You have to use the Notes app to type it all, which I know what also makes that more hilarious is that you can like pay to like just do what I'm saying. But again, it's been going on for so long that that wasn't the norm. And my main point is it's kind of bullcrap. Kind of bullcrap. But that's just life. So I'm going to try to make some trades. Am I advising for all this to happen in real life? Not against it, but I think the main point of doing it here, not in real life, is to see what would happen. If they did happen in real life, maybe I know something that other people don't. But if I did, I'd probably use it for better use. But obviously, 3 people can't be traded. Edie, Jerome, and Pippen. Well, let me go through the roster. John and Jaren, I love. They're the main guys. This is what I will say. I personally think that John and Jaren have 2 to 3 years left here. Well, sorry that I went the long way to look at the contracts. Because John has 3 years left on his deal, technically 2.5, because we're in the middle of the 1. I don't know when he'll get an extension, if he'll get an extension. And also, I'll admit, something about the NBA. It's very funny that the contracts have gotten bigger, but the way that the NBA has operated is, hey, we don't want these players. We don't want you to have a team full of these big contracts, which is not the best thing, considering, there's some teams that just do really well and want to reward their guys, and you're kind of punishing them for that. That's a story for a different day. But I just think this is all right. I have a lot of thoughts to go through. I think the main one is if you're to ask the team / the organization, what direction are we supposed to be going? They're going to say to compete and to win. Compete being the main thing. But just the way that we have navigated the past couple of years and not taking the big swings, which have bothered me, but, I've gotten accustomed to it. I just think that they want to compete, but the actions that they do make it a lot more difficult to compete. That being said, if I was in charge, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I was trying to avoid saying that. At least 7 guys, 6 to 7. God damn it, I did it anyways. Sorry. It's 2026. We're dropping that after this. Dropping it now. We have so many guys that are younger talents on decent contracts that most of them are helping our team out. In the next 2 to 3 years, those contracts are obviously going to go up and be a lot more valuable. What I'm getting at, I'm going to try to compete now with John and Jaren. And I think in real life, we're going to try to compete now with John and Jaren. And if they don't get it done in the next 2, I will be lenient and say 3 years. I think it will be time then to transition, which is kind of how it went with the previous era. But it might benefit us a little bit more because you could get back more for Ja and Jaren than they did with Conley and Gasol, which, to their credit, I think they did a good job of what they got back there. And they obviously did a fantastic job of what they got back with Desmond Bane, because as of right now, it's like Desmond Bane for Cedric Coward and KCP. Cedric Coward has been great. I was going through the whole roster, and then I dropped all that off. So let's do that now. The main thing is, I think we got 2 to 3 years with Ja and Jaren. If they stay their whole career, I would love that as well, because we're just getting now to the day and age in sports, but we'll just be more specific with the NBA, where guys just don't stay with their whole team, their whole career. And so I would love to see that, but again, it's just something that's not that normal and not happening. And I was really bothered when these trade rumors started at the beginning of the year, because I knew that would happen at some point. I just didn't expect it to be as quickly as it was, and it's finally seemingly went down a little bit. Cedric Coward is having a great rookie year. I would love for him to win Rookie of the Year, but it is a loaded rookie class, so it's going to be very difficult to do that. Zach Edey, I need to apologize because I was advocating for the team to trade for Domantas Sabonis when Edey went down with injury in the offseason because I am a Sabonis fan. I like Sabonis, and I feel that the Grizzlies were one of the few teams that he could fit in with and benefit and help out, but just mainly one of the few teams that he could fit in with. And my main point of it was Sabonis would fit into that 2 to 3 year window with John Jaren, and if it doesn't work out, it'll be time to move on, which I obviously know, again, with the older players that have the bigger contracts, it's not just as simple as moving on. I understand that. But the main reason I was advocating for it is like, we need a starting level center this year, and me saying that I was advocating for Sabonis makes it seem like, hey, screw you, Edey, you go to the bench. I was saying that because we're not having to rush Edey back in and to push Edey back in. Kind of like we did, but the reason I'm apologizing is because when Edey played, he was dominating. So I apologize. Sabonis, you make a lot of money. I'm not going to try to do that here. Edey, whenever you can get healthy and get on the court, we will take that because you did very well for us. So that's good. Santi Aldama. Thing one, this is the first time I'm publicly saying this, and it is a joke, but y'all know by now, behind every joke is a little bit of truth. Santi Aldama owes me $15 to $20 because during the play-in game last year against the Golden State Warriors, in which he was the inbounder, and we did not even get the ball in, I threw my remote down, and it broke. And again, I told you, this is the play-in. This is like April. I have still not bought a new remote. We're almost a year going on with no remote. I just took the one from the living room. It's crappy and whatnot. But I've always had that vendetta. That's always been bookmarked. I thought we were going to move on from him in the offseason, but I think it came to the point of we were not getting anything better than him, and I could at least give him credit. He's done very good this year. He still has his flaws, but he's kind of been one of the more healthy people on the team and has helped and contribute. Now, I will say this. Because when I tried to do this the other day, I was like kind of shocked by it. So I want to see if it happens again. We're going to simulate this first day because we can get to the award races. And he is a 6 Man of the Year candidate, and I respect that. I'd love to see. I want to see this in real life, and if he would make the list, even though I think he should. And again, it's kind of been a case of like I said, he would have been one of the more healthy players on the team. It might not help because, he's played so much. I don't know how the hell Santi got from here to there. All right. Cam Spencer, Ty Jerome, and to an extent, Scottie Pippen Jr. Ty Jerome has not played a game for us yet, and that absolutely sucks. I think the thing about Ty Jerome that I like is that he is a free agent that chose to sign with Memphis. And that's just not something that we entirely see. And he had a fantastic year last year. And it would have been great to see him do that here. He just has not gotten the chance to do that. So it's kind of, I have a soft spot for Ty Jerome just for the fact of he chose to come to sign to Memphis. And he should have helped things out. But I just personally think I wasn't the biggest fan of it because we were adding another point guard where I thought Scottie Pippen Jr. could have handled that. And then he went down with injury, so we're kind of a case of we get neither. You want one of them? How about you get neither of them, which is the worst case scenario. Now, what I will say about him, Cam Spencer, and Scottie Pippen Jr., we don't really need all three, and that hurts because I would not want to be the person to make that choice. And if I want to be honest, unless something like blows my mind, I'm probably not going to make that choice till the offseason. So I'm going to try to keep all three because, I'm being stingy. But time will tell there. Cam Spencer, I think, will benefit and help our team out now and has been since Ty Jerome and Scottie Pippen Jr. have been out. Brandon Clark kind of hurts because he came back and immediately got injured. Will he get traded? I don't know. He is the only person that, if you look, and I went through and edited the injuries myself, I did not do that because he's not listed as injured because we will at least be looking. in the market. Jalen Wells, I love. I'm glad that he's helped us out and benefited us a lot. But if there's a situation, and the main thing that I have wanted for this team for the last 2 to 3 years is a proper small forward. I know he's listed as a small forward. In my opinion, he's a shooting guard. I'm very stingent when it comes to positions, and he's been playing small forward for us a lot. I think he's a shooting guard, and I think that Coward is the one that's more so you could debate which one he is because of his length and size. Pause. But I want to clarify and back it up. A veteran small forward that can lead the way for us and to mentor the youth and the bench, mainly a G.G. Jackson. And that's why last year I was advocating for Jimmy Butler to come here because I thought that he could have done that. And that got crapped on. And I really, really wanted Cam Johnson. And there's a scenario, like, I really wanted Cam Johnson, and that didn't happen. And I don't think it's impossible to not get Cam Johnson, but A, he's injured right now for, like, the next month, so that's not going to happen. And it's not going to happen this year. Let's put it that way. Because that was Denver's big move of the offseason, and it's been working out okay for them. But there's a dream scenario in my mind where we trade KCP and somebody to get Cam Johnson because I really wanted him on this team. And time will tell there. Sorry that I spent all this Jalen Wells time talking about Cam Johnson. But the main thing that I want is a veteran small forward. And then we could have Jalen Wells come off the bench as our shooting guard and to mainly help our defense off the bench. And he would be maybe our proper six-man. Tom would, we have a lot of scenarios that could play out. Vince Williams Jr., it was hilarious that, like, week period where he was our point guard and getting, like, double-digit a lot of assists, which was hilarious. And then he just got back hurt. It's hard to tell with Vince Williams Jr. And if I'm just being honest, I want him to be our GD replacement. GD makes a little bit more than him, John Contror, if you're not entirely familiar with who GD is. He should be our GD replacement. When everybody is healthy, he should be able to come, or if one-ish person is out, he should be the guy that comes in and just does a little bit of everything, because that's what John Conchar does now. This is what he should be doing, because he's on a slightly smaller contract. Time to tell, but I love GD. KCP, Kenny. I'm not that mad at Kenny. I think a lot of people, he gets a lot of slack, which is understandable. I will give him credit that he is a lot better off of the bench than starting, and it kind of goes to my whole argument. In my mind, he's more of a shooting guard than a small forward. But the issue is you shouldn't really be paying two guys off of your bench $17 to $21 million. So that kind of hurts there. But I'm glad that he's came to the team and embraced the team and helped the team out. G.G. Jackson is the I already went over my thing with GD. He just does a little bit of everything, and I appreciate that. GG is the weird one. GG is he got screwed over. He got screwed over by injuries, and it just seems that the moment he does like one thing wrong, it gets harped on. It's like, hey, and he's been playing a little bit now recently, and it's been kind of a double-edged sword. He's the one that might need to go. And it's not his fault. It's just not his fault. It's not you, it's me situation. So, I'll tell y'all now that I experimented with this last night and got some things done that I really liked. So, I'm going to see if I could duplicate that. It's not entirely possible, but time will tell. Also, I just realized I skipped over Jock Landale. Shout out Jock Landale. He came into the team, and he's another one that kind of does a little bit of everything. I appreciate Jock Landale, even though sometimes he does a little bit too much. Time will tell. Injury-wise, I went on to my ESPN fantasy app. I'm 8-2 right now. And I went through every team and saw who the major injuries are. Because, for example, 2K didn't have Jokic being out for a month, which I know sucks. So, injuries are somewhat right. Like, Franz Wagner's been out, but it said he's coming back this week. I didn't even change that. Reeves is supposed to be out a couple weeks, so that's why he's out. There's nobody on the Knicks. Sabonis has been out, but it said he's coming back this week. I left it. Walker Kessler had to change because they tried to have him come back, but he's out for the season. The Hornets, so there's some players there, but they were day-to-day. So if they're day-to-day, I just left it as is. But with our example for our guys, they can come back at any time, and I'll be happy about that. It would benefit us on here and in real life, obviously. But time will tell there. Zubac's out another week or two, so that's where that is. If Tatum comes back in real life, I will update it to where it can come back on here. But time will tell there. I'm also not helping out these other teams. There's been other series where I've helped out these other teams. I'm not helping them out. Y'all are grown. Y'all are adults. Y'all are businessmen. Giddey's out a couple weeks. I don't think there's anybody out on the Bucks that I know of. Embiid's day-to-day. I'm not that damn happy with the Sixers because they beat the Grizzlies the other night. It said that Drew Holiday was coming back this week, so that's why I didn't change that. So if there's and Draymond Green's supposed to come back. So a lot of these, Wemby is day-to-day. He just got injured the previous game, so get well. I just left it. So one of my favorite players in the league, and a guy that if it was on the Grizzlies, I'd be happy because, like I said, he's one of my favorite players in the league, is Saddiq Bey. And he is on a good contract. Doesn't help that he's on a divisional rival. Can play a couple of positions, a good shooter, a good defender. I've always wanted him on the Grizzlies. Ever since he left the Pistons, I've wanted him on the Grizzlies. He's going to go to a good team, and he's going to benefit them. And then everyone's, he's going to be one of those guys that other teams want. The Pelicans need a lot of things right now. So, Dorian Finney-Smith is one of those guys as well, but he's a little bit older than Saddiq Bey and makes a lot more money than Saddiq Bey, and he also just came back from injury. It's also very funny because in our other Memphis Grizzlies series 2 years ago, we traded for him then. Now, here's what makes it difficult. I don't remember the exact trade. The Pelicans would acquire. Oh. I know. All right. I know I messed up. Boom. All right. The Rockets need another point guard. Jose Alvarado is a great defender. Not the best shooter, which is probably the thing they're looking for the most in their point guard. They might even just trade for him and not even use him. But they don't really need Dorian Finney-Smith. When I did this trade originally, it involved Clint Capella, but I think the Rockets would be more prone to giving up Dorian Finney than Capella. But I don't know entirely. So I'm going to propose this. This wasn't the exact. I got Saddiq Bey and Dorian Finney-Smith. The Rockets got Jose Alvarado. I don't remember entirely what I gave up, but this is like a work in progress, is the best way I could put that. So the Pelicans would do this, but the Rockets wouldn't. Now, again, when I initially did this, we got Clint Capella, and then I just went back to the trade finder and traded Clint Capella for Dorian Finney. So I'm willing to give up some seconds to the Rockets, which I know that they just went through that whole blah blah. I'm not because worst case scenario, I just realized. All right, let's do it this way. Because the Pelicans said that they would do this. The thing is, we don't need Jose Alvarado. Love Brandon Clark, but I'd rather have Saddiq Bey. Is the best way I could put this. Okay, now. The Pelicans are the one that said they were okay with this. Okay. So, I like Jose Alvarado, but we don't really need him. He'd be a good fit here. Now, can I get Dorian? All right, we'll look around. The Mavericks could be a good fit there, but I'm not signing up to take on D'Lo. Keon Ellis would actually be good here. I'll go ahead and tell y'all now, the big trade, there was a big trade that I made, and I don't want to entirely spoil it. I also, a couple weeks ago, talked myself into Kawhi getting traded here. But now that he's been doing well for the Clippers, I don't see that happening. Michael Porter Jr. has 2 years left on his deal and is doing great this season. But I went the wrong way of doing this. I wouldn't mind Michael Porter Jr. because let's actually do this. Because I told y'all I wanted a veteran small forward on the team. So we're going to go through every team, and I think Michael Porter Jr. is the most realistic one to get. And I know that he is slightly younger and not necessarily a veteran. So, but he was a former NBA champion, or he is an NBA champion. So, Wiggins would be nice, but I'm not entirely trying to sign up for that. Wiggins might be he might be an option, but time will tell there. And again, Norman Powell to me is a small forward. Miles Bridges, there was probably a time period where I'd be okay with it, but that time period's not right now. Laura Markin, I wouldn't mind, but to me, he's more of a power forward. You know what? If I do a trade finder, are they gonna give me a preposterous trade? All right, they want a little bit too much. Laura Markin might be on the list, but again, I also kind of spoiled it for y'all. It's I already did a test run of some of this, and we were able to get Michael Porter Jr. then. DeRozan, love DeMar, doesn't really fit our team. It wouldn't be the worst option, but I feel that the other guys are providing a lot more than him. DeMar wouldn't be the worst option, I will say. There's a time I really wanted Mikal Bridges on this team, but he's making a little bit too much money now, and the Knicks probably wouldn't trade him. OG, same thing, but I was more of a Mikal person than an OG person, and the Knicks got both, so screw you. LeBron, nah. Maybe, nah. It's also funny because he has a no-trade clause. There's no way he's going to say, yeah, I want to go to Memphis now. There might have been a time period where it was, but it isn't now. I also want it to be known that last year I did a throwback series, but off cameras, so I apologize for that. And that series was LeBron and Memphis in 2003 because they should have got the number. If they could have got, they should have got a pick in the 03 draft, but didn't. That was whole bull crap. But they were second to the freaking Cavaliers. So that's a big what if in NBA history that doesn't really get talked about a lot. And so I essentially just put LeBron on that Grizzlies team, and time went on. I will admit I traded LeBron for Kobe 5 years into it, which again is what the fuck are you talking about? I can't go back in time and change that. So I just went extremely off the rails. Magic, we're not really trying to benefit them. There might be a world where we can get Franz, but probably not. The Mavericks have a lot of options, but in my opinion, they're not necessarily veterans. And I know saying that is crazy because I'm trying to go for Michael Porter Jr., who is the same age as P.J. Washington, Clay. I don't think... I would love to see the reception of Klay Thompson on this team, considering everything that he has done the past couple of years to this team, a.k.a. the Ja earlier in the year. Remember that? We need to do five things that happened this season thus far for the Grizzlies. That would have to be on there. That would have to be on that list. I already went through me wanting Cam Johnson. That might be an off. If we don't do anything, that might be an off-season thing. But time will tell there. How many years? All right, he's got one more year on his contract. But the main thing that I was also saying, with it being a veteran small forward, and the reason I want it to be a veteran small forward, is that they would start this year, next year, the years that we're trying to compete, and then can transition to the bench and let the younger guys, a.k.a. Jalen Wells. Cedric Coward's probably start for us regardless, but Jalen Wells start back then. But time will tell there. There's nothing really here. I wouldn't mind Aaron A. Smith, but again, I wouldn't mind it. We already got what we wanted here. Love you, BC. If you thought your injuries are bad here, I apologize. Tobias Harris, there's probably a time period where I wouldn't have been that against it, but I don't think the Pistons would entertain it that much. There's also a time period where I really wanted Jalen Duren on this team. I think everybody wanted him because he went to Memphis in college, but it's probably not happening anytime soon. Nothing really here. I went over the Dorian Finney part already. But that wouldn't be a start. I would start Jalen Wells over Dorian Finney-Smith. Like, come on. There's a lot of options here. I'm tired of seeing Harrison Barnes do the Grizzlies up. And we play the Spurs in a couple of days. And I'm going to hope that doesn't happen again. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. There's nothing really here. Don't like them. There's nothing really here. Naz Reid, I wouldn't mind on this team for, like, stability with our center position. But I'm not trying to give up too much to get Naz Reid, and I don't think that we have that much that the Timberwolves would be that interested in. But I will put him on the list, and I know that I'm mainly looking for small forwards. Jeremy Grant makes way too much money for me to be even entertaining any of that. Matisse Thybulle, I wouldn't mind, but again, that's kind of a case I'd start Wills over Thybulle, if I'm being honest. But I wouldn't mind him on the team. There's also kind of been a case I've not seen Matisse Thybulle play basketball in a hot minute. If this was last year, yes, but this year, no. I was mainly did this to see his contract. I will say this. Is there, like, I was thinking about this, and I saw somebody else tweet it. Paul George, I'm not entirely against, but we would have to get back every available pick from Philly, and I don't think Philly would be willing to entertain it that much. Kelly Oubre, I wouldn't mind, but again, it's another case of I'm probably starting Wells over him, so I'm not even trying to do that. There is a world. Giannis himself said it in that quote. Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to the Memphis Grizzlies, and I got a little bit excited. Like, why was he thinking about them first, Giannis? I ain't questioning you that much, but I appreciate it. That being said, we'd have to make an extremely lot of changes to the team. So like, most of what I said wouldn't matter because the team would be changed dramatically. Not entirely against it. Jason Tatum would be a dream acquisition for this team because he loves Memphis. I think he went to high school in Memphis, and he always talks highly of Memphis. Jason Tatum would be the dream, but he is on a contract for... He's making $70 million. I didn't know that. It would be a long-ass time for this could happen. I already went over the Kawhi situation. I think that was the last team, wasn't it? It was after the Clippers. Hawks, Heat. I think we went over every team. Well, yeah. All right. So, I'll go back to Jimmy Butler. There was like a situation on my mind. Because the main thing when the Jimmy Butler thing was going on the last season was that he did not want to come to Memphis. And it wasn't really said why, but we kind of understood that we weren't going to extend him. And I can understand that because it's not like a whole lot of teams had money in the offseason to sign him as a free agent. So he wouldn't have that many choices. I didn't understand entirely why we just didn't do it, and then we just signed and trade him away. Or what we actually ended up doing was trade away Desmond Bane and then extend Jimmy, start Wells at shooting guard. So then we're Ja, Jalen, Jimmy, Jaren, Edie, whatever you get back for Bane, because you could still get back the match. Because I know, again, what I'm saying right now is a butterfly effect situation. Everything changes, but more so, you probably could have got the package still from the Magic. So we still could have got Cedric Howard. So the whole reason that I'm over it now is because we got Cedric Howard, and I love Cedric Howard, but I think it's something that needs to be brought up a little bit, or should be thought of by other people at least once. I'm not going to say brought up consistently because, obviously you can't change it. I had Wiggins on the list. I had Kawhi on the list. I won't put DeAndre Hunter. Naz Reid. And who was there's like another small forward. I was like, interested. Cam Johnson. The thing with Cam Johnson is I just know I can trade for him, so I'm not going to do it. Because I'm also, the guys that I'm going for are not unrealistic. I'm not trying to make this an unrealistic thing, is the other thing. Because I feel that with some of these other series, that has happened. At least the one last year, it happened. I think that's everybody. All right, just to fill out the rotation, we will we'll put Cam Johnson on there. But this will be more of an off-season thing because I feel that Denver put a little bit. They're putting a lot of faith into him and his trade working. That I'll wait to the offseason for that. So the thing is, I'm gonna put a trade finder for Kawhi. I'm gonna put a package together for Kawhi. All right, I want to see Naz Reid first because I've actually, out of everybody, I've actually never tried to trade for Naz Reid. But again, it's kind of like as a backup powerful. This is not the worst trade, but I'd rather. This is not the worst trade, but probably not. I'm not doing that because the thing is, as well, pun intended, because I saw Jalen Wells. I want to keep Jalen. Like I want to keep the younger players on the good contracts on this team, even though I know that one, maybe two of them will end up won't make it. It's hard to hit on all of them. So, I'm just looking around at the moment. It's not the worst, but I'm not really trying to sign up to bring Klay Thompson to this team either. Hilarious because Marvin Bagley was on our team last year. He's also only making $2 million. We couldn't pay that. We could not pay that. We didn't even try to bring him back. Chris Middleton, I definitely thought we would trade Marcus Smart for Chris Middleton, and that just didn't happen. I also didn't realize that he had that extra year on his deal, which I think he had. That was a player option. Why? I didn't realize it. All right. Since we're going big swinging right away. This is the one that's least likely to happen, but try it at least. Kawhi, I'm willing to give up Santi. I'm willing to give up KCP, and I'm willing to give up Gigi. Now, when it comes to our picks, who do we need back? I'll take Batum. Who's on campaign? Who they signed? All right. Untouchable, eh? When it comes to picks, I want at least one draft pick a year. And the way that we have it, we have 2 this year, I'm going to hope and imagine that the Suns start losing games at some point. I'm going to hope it's not sustainable, which I hate that I said that because a lot of times I say stuff and then whatever I say, the opposite happens. Time will tell there. We don't necessarily need both picks. I'm willing to give up one, is what I'm trying to say. Then we have 2 in 2030. All right. So I'm willing to give up this pick in 2 seconds. I know this is just not. This could work for the other guys. Kawhi's a Hall of Famer. Kawhi's a 92 overall. Kawhi also just scored 50 points the other day. It's maybe an unrealistic, but you go big and then you go down. So we will go ahead and take Kawhi off of that. Cam Johnson we can't even trade for a month anyways because he's injured. I like Wiggins. What is Wiggins' contract? Let me go. Wiggins' contract's not that crazy. Especially because it's $10 million less than Porter Jr. I'm going to pass on Wiggins. All right. So that just leaves us with Michael Porter Jr. And the main reason that I'm okay with this is because he fits our 2 to 3 window with Ja and Jaren. And I went through and already told y'all that I plan on paying the other guys. So he could be a free agent. And if he's not on like a crazy-ass deal or asking for a crazy amount of money, we might just sign him back. We might sign and trade him. Time will tell there. Might just let him walk to save money. And I saw a lot of reports saying the Nets are ready to move on because he's doing a little bit too well for them. So, Santi. KCP. Which I wouldn't mind putting these two together considering they were 2 of the starting 5 of the Nuggets championship team, but obviously we need KCP. We don't need KCP if we're having Wells come off the bench and he makes a little bit too much money. I forgot about Jose Alvarado, by the way. Haywood Highsmith would be decent. But he's out hurt right now. This is the because we know what the Magic are this year. That's the thing. We don't know what the hell they're going to look like in 2030. Granted, I don't know how long the series is going to go. I don't even know if 2030 matters that much. Okay. Okay, we're going to do one thing. We're going to do something first that might help us. Doesn't really help them. Might help us. Michael Porter Jr. Why did the value go up that much? Day'Ron Sharpe, I feel, has a lot of value. That's why I want to put him here, but I think he has a little bit too much value for us. I also don't like that Santi's value went down that much. The reason I'm also willing to give up this pick is I want to hope that on here, because we're in charge of things, we surpass the Suns, and then their pick would be lower than ours. I know that's wishful thinking, but time will tell. Now, if I go this 2 seconds route. Okay. I didn't want to do this, but this is what I did yesterday. It might help. I don't think it will. All right. We got to get very desperate here. All right. Michael Porter Jr. is on the team. We've added an NBA champion. Holy shit! I did not expect that. He is the top player on our team. That's crazy. I don't know how much I like that. I don't know how much I like that. That is crazy, though. That is funny. So, I appreciate Santi. I appreciate KCP. Jose Alvarado, you didn't actually play a game for us, so there is that. Now, here's what I'll say. Bro, Sadiq at an 83 is crazy. Sadiq at an 83 is crazy. I hate doing this because I also want it to be known that I put shoes on everybody on our team because I get tired of seeing our team on 2K generics. And there's only one other player that I edited. I edited Stephon Castle because in real life, he has a lot of accessories. And on here, they have 2K generics and no accessories. Bothers the hell out of me. I'm not going to do it for every single person, but Castle, I notice a lot. So, you're welcome. Here's where the issue lies. We need a power forward off the bench to replace Santi. And also speaking, we need another. We actually don't need another center because we got Day'Ron Sharpe. So I'm okay with Day'Ron Sharpe. So I know that Gigi could be a backup power forward. At least that was kind of what we're hoping for now. This is actually not a crazy trade. This is actually a great trade for us, but I don't think the Suns like these two guys too much to actually do that. Bring J Huff back. Peyton Watson's up for extension, so I'm not even going to try to go that route. I would love Russell Westbrook on this team because he's my favorite player of all time, but it just doesn't make sense. We also have 2 seconds left. I'm trying to get a backup power forward and another first-round pick. And I think that's a little bit possible. If I just put G.G. Jackson in the trade finder by himself, I screwed it up because I didn't take Jalen Wilson out. Also did realize one other thing. T.J. McConnell he would benefit this team. Could get Jose Alvarado back if we really wanted. We also reunited Santi and Zaire, the 2021 Grizzlies draft class. It's timeout. I got very distracted, and I didn't even realize that GG. Because I think that all the first-round picks that I saw, we were also having to give up one. So here's one here. But I don't like that. I'd rather keep GG than, like, sacrifice that. Why are they doing this to Mark Williams? They know something that I don't. Chris Murray. Keon Ellis. But we just had to give him a contract extension. Larry Nance Jr. Alright, I know this is a very protected pick. But I feel that this is the route. This is where it gets really unrealistic, where I just start putting people in trades. And if I'm not going to play them, but I can get a pick for them, I try to do that. So, this is the somewhat unrealistic part. So, I'll also do this. I don't think this is going to benefit us that much because freaking Dante's low overall than Wilson was. I ain't giving up no first. I also don't think there's a route to where we could get Dorian Finney because he makes a lot of money. I also realized that we could go Wells, Gigi, and Bay. But I kind of want... I look at Sadiq Bey as a small forward. That's my issue. I look at Sadiq Bey as a small forward. That's why I want him at small forward and not power forward. Even though I know his overall... I don't know. He's at 83. I'm kind of getting a little bit, you know... I don't want to change this. I also just love this contract. Just look at that. Look at that. This is it. Grizzlies. I might put the war. Hey, go for Sadiq Bey. I've done it for the past couple of years. I don't know why I stopped. So let's do this. I forgot about Naz Reid. Cam Johnson. We'll leave Cam Johnson there. Like, you know, as a little bookmark. This is what we need to be doing. Power forward, and we're just going to scroll till we get to the Derrick Jones Jr. Not the worst. Obi Toppin, I wouldn't mind. How much money is he making, though? A little bit too much for my liking. Not against Obi Toppin that much. Already went over Dorian Finney. I'm not a big Jeremy Sohan fan. All right. I think what we're going to do is give G.G. Jackson a chance. But I'm not just like stamping saying, hey, you're staying with this team for sure. He's going to at least get a chance with us. Santi, you're doing well for us. You can't even win 6th man of the year because you're probably going to start over there. But at least the Nets got some picks for... I think the Nets could get a better trade package than that in real life. So, also wanted to be known that 2K doesn't have the aprons. If they have the aprons, like first apron, second apron, I've never noticed it. So, that might be what hinders us from doing a trade like that in real life. So, what is entirely needed? Mainly a back... Oh, okay. I will do this as well, because I forgot about Vince. I forgot about Dante as well. This is not bad. This is not bad, but there's no, like, reason to do that. It's kind of unrealistic as well. These two, mainly Fontecchio, did us up early. All right, this is going to be a crazy-ass thing. Yeah, freaking... He had a lot more than this. He had to have, like... I remember Fontecchio going off on us earlier in the year. If I just do Vince by himself... We'll wait. We will wait. But for now, Vince is our Giddy replacement. Come in, do a little bit of everything. So rotations-wise, Ja, Coward. All right, let's just do this because it seems easier. Daron Sharp they want to start, which is not the craziest thing, but I'll give Jock Landale the start. Sadiq Bey is our 6th man now. We'll give Cam. Where's Wells? Wells is getting a lot more. I feel bad because it seems like I'm punishing Jalen Wells, and that's not the goal. That's not the mission. That's not what I'm trying to do. So Daron Sharp can get Gigi can get 15. Wells is getting 20. Spencer's getting 20. Sadiq's getting 25. All right, this bench-wise, this is decent. I get very specific here. I need to put Gigi back up. All right, 30 to our main guys. Coward can get 25. You know, Coward's getting 30. And Jock will get 20. So we have 5 extra minutes that I will give to Wells. And then when these 3 get healthy, I don't know if we're going to play Scottie Pippen Jr. this year. Time will tell. Time will tell. But I kind of went through it. We don't necessarily need all 3 of Ty Jerome, Scottie Pippen Jr., and Cam Spitzer. It could work. They should work, but I don't know if we'll ever get to that. Time will tell there. So, going back here, we're going to do one more. We have GG back at power forward. That's what we need to do. You know what? Screw it. We'll just leave it. Because we left it Sadiq Bey at small forward, didn't we? Yes, 83. Wanted to do this, and then we're going to do one. We'll do one full game and simcast the second because we play the Lakers in back-to-back games. It's getting very cold. And I don't have my heater on during my videos because it's probably too loud for y'all. So nothing that crazy, but I don't think we're going to be done with the trades. We'll be done with the trades for this video. I don't think we're done for now. So, we're on Pro. We might change to All-Star at some point, but for now, we're going to leave it at Pro. That being said, I did see a name that I'm not entirely against. You know what? All right, we're going to put Dorian Finney back on the list, but I don't think it's going to be that possible because we don't really have the money to make it work. Hi, Steven Adams. Would like you back on the team as well. And someone that's similar. But again, we haven't seen him play in a long-ass time. But on 2K, he does really well. It's Matisse. So we will look at some of these guys a little bit later. But I'm all right. So I'm suffice on what we have at the moment. So this is where I've gotten nervous because I don't know if I have to change any of this. I will a little bit later. I'm going to give 2K credit on this. I like the soundtrack on this game. Granted, a lot of the songs that are good on here are from previous 2K, so I don't know if I can give them too much credit. So they're playing the Lakers. They don't have Austin Reeves because he's out with injury. All right, I was about to lie to you. This is the first time we're playing Marcus Smart. It's not. I remember we played him earlier in the year. Heartbreaking Grizzly run. I'll give him the purple accessories. I almost said jerseys. It's not purple jerseys. And we'll go with our navy blue. And we normally, I don't remember the last time we've actually wore these with yellow sleeves, but I remember there was one season we did it a lot. So. Ooh! I think that's just background music. I don't think it's. I get very cautious when it comes to music because I don't want to get in trouble, and I've always been very stingy with that through the couple of years. But I think that's just background music. So we're gonna play this game, and we will simcast the next one. As Michael Porter Jr. immediately gets a steal. I don't think it's that crazy. It does not help that I'm going to have to change all this back a little bit out later. All right, this is what we need to do. Sound effects and PA. All right. So now y'all just got to listen to me. So did I go too? I don't think I went that crazy. I think there's other scenarios where I could have went crazier, but I don't think I went that crazy. Okay. I don't like that. All right. I'm glad that didn't go in, but that was a very good look by them. I'm very pissed off that we lost the Sixers the other night, too, because we had good performances from Ja and Coward. And it's hard to celebrate good performances on a loss. Okay. It's also cold. I told y'all that a couple minutes ago. I'm now feeling it. Landale, put it up and in. I just want to know the direction. I want the actions of this team to match the direction of the team. Oh, I can't even believe that. We've gotten an hour in. I even brought up Tomas Isolo. I like Isolo. I can understand why fans don't and are very cautious by it. I'm glad that things aren't as hectic as it was. Hectic. I just made combine two words. Hectic as it was earlier in the year. There are definitely things that need to be improved there. So we do have a mismatch. I thought we had a mismatch. I guess we do because y'all just put it up and in like that. I'm pretty sure we still have a first-round pick every year. We'll try to look to add more because team-wise, we're okay. We are okay. All right, I forced that too much. Glad that was great by Jock. I didn't expect that to work out as great as it did. I'm glad that it did. Jock goes to the paint like that. Hey, LeBron. We are guarding LeBron pretty well. That should have went in, but that green quickly disappeared. Okay, I don't like that. I'm glad that went in. That should have been. Is that realistic? Are those lights actually at the Crypto.com arena? I don't think I've ever seen them. I'm pretty sure the other side are the championship banners. I think this is a recent addition. I should have been more aware of that. Okay, glad that went in. Terrible shot release, but it was a good look, so that's what went in. Like I said, y'all seeing this, and I know that we're an hour in now. That means everything went right. If you're not, then I've wasted. I can't even say can't say I've wasted an hour because it should all be stuff that is useful down the line. There we go. Roy Hachimura, who normally does well against the Grizzlies, missing a shot there. Sharon gets it in. I imagine they're going to cross the line and call a timeout. We have somebody checking in. I didn't see who. They didn't call the timeout. Still get a Luka 3 that does not go in. We're getting Cam Spencer early. Okay, I don't like that. Glad that did not go in. Let's give the new guy a look. We're going to bring in Day'Ron Sharp. And we're going to leave Coward in. And right when I say that, try to give Jock. That one bothered me. That one bothered me. That one really bothered me because there's technically 2 guys there that went in. Michael Porter Jr.'s first basket as a Grizzly. I'll also say I'm kind of glad that we've not been getting as crazy Michael Porter Jr. takes as we were in the offseason. I think that's mainly because it's, actually in season time. He's worried about basketball, which is a good thing. So that might be something that lingers on in the back of your mind. As I kind of left Roy a little bit too open there. That's a foul. Let's see what we're about to do here. We got to bring in Sadiq Bey. Or I know what we actually need to do. Shout out Christian Koloko because he's on the team in real life right now, but kind of ignored that. Coward, and then Bey. While Cam Spencer's in, we'll give him a look. Didn't go in, even though it was a big green. Is LeBron still in? I see LeBron still in. He's wide open. Jumping too early. I'm glad they got blocked. That should have probably been a foul, but I knew he was going up with it at some point. All right, we got a mismatch here. Got to take advantage of that. Nope, we didn't. Terrible. Went terrible with that. Jaren doing very well rebounding-wise this game. So Coward comes in. Quick 9 points from Coward, the rookie. How many Rookie of the Years are? We have 3 that I know of in the building with Luka, LeBron, and Ja. Technically 4 because I'm counting on that Coward will win it. I hope so. There's probably another one that I'm forgetting about. All right, there we go. That, I don't know how to stop that. I don't know how to, all right. Because I don't think that's menu music. I'm tired of hearing that music, too. I don't think there's a way to stop it, so. We'll just have to go see it as we see it. There's again an immediate foul, former Grizzly, Jake LaRavia. I won't challenge it now, because I kind of pushed him when he was in the air. He did miss a second one, though. Gabe Vincent. I wanted Gabe Vincent on our team. The year the Heat went to the finals against the Nuggets, and him and Max Strus were the main contributors to, or I can't even say, all right, that was kind of a crazy take. He was a starting point guard, at least, and we needed a backup because this is the season that we traded away Tyus Jones to get Marcus Smart. And we kind of needed a backup point guard. I wanted it to be Gabe Vincent, and we got Derrick Rose instead. Love Derrick Rose. Can't even say, I'm not even mad that we signed Derrick Rose because Derrick Rose is all-time great and one of my favorites. And that was a good moment when we signed him, but he had no notable moments as a Grizzly. Perfect look for Sadiq Bey, one of the newest Grizzlies. Glad that he's on the team. He had 16 points against the Lakers earlier this year. 5 assists. I don't know if he started in that game or not. All right, I kind of helped out a little bit too much there. Jalen Wells, boom. Better than Connect. The fact that they traded away Dalton Connect and had to bring him back and he is still not traded, kind of crazy to me. And I can't be that mad at Connect because he went to Tennessee. We're 6th in assists this season. Good for us. With one proper point guard on the team. Healthy. We had 2.5 guys there. Nobody could stop them. KCP, like I said, well, the guys that we traded away. I like KCP. He's doing well for us off the bench, but it's kind of a situation where we don't need to be paying 2 guys off the bench as much money. And he's mainly was brought here for veteran experience. We didn't really bring in that great a veteran experience in our trades, but again, we're not necessarily done. Santi, I like Santi. That's the best way I can put it. He's doing very well for us, but if we can make a... And again, I think in the offseason that we were somewhat looking to move on from him, but we just wasn't going to get that much of an improvement and or assets. Because, like, with Bane, you could say that KCP and Cole Anthony, technically, but mainly KCP, they're not improvements over Bane, but the assets that you got with it, you're willing to put up with it. So if it was kind of a case of we weren't getting an improvement or the assets of it, you might as well just stick with what you got, considering it's not the worst thing. It's not a bad thing, you know. You just kind of wish you got something a little bit better. Leaned off a little bit too much for my liking. But Coward, the Rookie of the Year. We got a quick 47 in the first quarter. Defensively, I didn't think we were doing that well, but we got a 20-plus point lead. All right when I say that, we gave up an open shot, but he was dribbling too much. I'm going to try something bold. If I didn't say that, it might have went in. All right, if y'all know how things go around here, we simcast to the 4th to see if it's competitive, which in this situation... Not really. I want to come in and use the bench, so we might just let them get a score. That way we can bring the bench in, because I want to see how the bench is going to work out now. Jaren had 9 rebounds, 30 points. So, glad that there's no freaking bullcrap music playing. Thank y'all for that. Bring in Sharp. Bring in Gigi. We'll bring in Vince. We'll bring it. No! All right. All right. We're leaving Coward in, but we will bring in Wells. I don't. All right. That is going to be the. This has happened in a couple of 2Ks to where this bullcrap music plays. I just don't know if it's like a licensed song or not. So that's why I yell as loud as I can to stop it. All right, we got to try to get 2 assists with Coward. So I love Jalen. All right, Jalen, we'll put Coward in because Cam's got a little stamina. So we'll leave Coward in and bring Wells in. Also needed to look at the Rookie of the Year race to see where exactly Coward was listed. And we also just got to play these guys. Not the next day, but the day after. That one. Thought I was going to go in and out. GG has always had a weird jump shot. He's also got a weird free throw, in my opinion. Roy's fading away. Vince Williams coming in. He heard. He said, hey, you want me to be the John Conchar? I'm not going to do that. Okay, we don't need any more. But we got Coward's triple double. So good on Coward. Good on Ja. Jaron with 32. Michael Porter Jr. doing the craziest amount. We could get there. Wells. It's also crazy. I'm kind of punishing Wells because he was like second in rookie. He was at least second. He might have been third. I'm pretty sure he's second. So we're going to simcast this game, and next time that we're here, we'll go through this week's worth of game. I will also say, still upset at the NBA for making these Orlando Magic games international during Martin Luther King Jr. Day and screwing Desmond Bain out of his return back to Memphis. Y'all is bullcrap for that. I will say, good on the Grizzlies to get an international opportunity, and hopefully international Grizzly fans travel or go to those games. So we'll simcast this game to see how things go. Might be a little bit closer. Yeah, we're the same. About the same. All right, back-to-back wins over the Lakers. That's a good thing. Look at the stats. We got a triple-double from Luka. Kind of the same. Michael Porter Jr. got a lot more points. Gigi got a lot more points and half the amount of time as Michael Porter Jr. So, stating a claim to wanting to stay around. Jalen Wills, we kind of are screwing over. We're kind of screwing over Jalen Wills. We need to figure that out. So, we've been here for a while. I got the main things accomplished for this first episode. So, hopefully, I can see y'all back for another one down the line. So, I appreciate y'all for watching this. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you when I see you because I'm out for now. Goodbye, and Happy New Year, I guess.